my name is Shirgi, and in this video I'll be talking through my unfinished and most likely abandoned music projects. If you're a music producer or a music composer like I am, you probably have a bunch of unfinished projects sitting on your hard drive that you worked on for 12 hours, thought they were great at 3 a.m. when you wrote them, and then completely abandoned them afterwards. And so that's what I'll be going through today. I'll be playing you some excerpts from these projects, and I'll talk about why I probably abandoned them or what I dislike about them, why I think they're just unsalvageable. And so let's start with this here, which is a saraband that I wrote. It's quite slow, and I think it just drags on for too long. It's pretty, and that's something that I'm going to talk about a lot, is that a lot of the music that I wrote is pretty. That's not necessarily a good thing. It got real boring real fast because it's just too pretty. This music is something that I would fall asleep to, which is not a compliment because I'm the one writing it. It's not good if I'm writing music and I'm falling asleep to my own music. It's not interesting harmonically, it's not interesting orchestration or arrangement wise, it's just not interesting. I've rearranged this many times to no avail. This is the latest version, and I think it's just gonna stay this way unfinished. In my opinion, it's just too slow, too undeveloping, too stale. Like, this accompaniment is just atrocious. Like, it just doesn't get more boring than that. Now, this is an interesting one. The very first piece of quote-unquote classical-ish music that I ever wrote was a very long and droning piece for solo piano. And at some point, I had challenged myself to arrange that for orchestra. This was written when I was just getting my bearing on orchestrating, when I was just starting out learning about it and experimenting, so I definitely think that I could do much better at it now, but I feel like that would just be the constant uphill battle of me trying to rearrange something that doesn't have a lot of musical substance to begin with. This piano piece, I mean, it's my first one, so I talk about it. My first piece of classical music, that is, my first composition, but I just don't like it at all. It's just so boring. Maybe because I heard it 100 times when writing it and heard it 100 more when trying to arrange it. Either way, I don't like it. I liked experimenting with like new kind of misty and hazy textures in the orchestra, but I think there are much better pieces that do this. Debussy comes to mind, of course, anything that he orchestrated. Very foggy and misty, very awesome, very Broomis. Schoenberg, also very good at orchestrating these kind of hazy, gray, cloudy kind of textures. I don't know how either of those people orchestrated at all. In fact, I don't think I even knew who Schoenberg was when I wrote this. Maybe I could redo this to be better, but I just don't think it'd be worth it. This one I distinctly remember writing because I wrote this kind of in an emotional mood. I was in my feelings, so I just wrote something to get it out, and it sounds like this. I don't think that necessarily is bad in any way. I like the melody, I like the harmony, a little bit cheesy, but that's okay. The one thing that I struggled the most when trying to continue this piece is that I actually could not figure out a way to continue it. When I'm thinking of music in my head and writing music, I'm always thinking, okay, where's this going? Where's this going? Where do I feel like the melody is going? Kind of using my intuition there, because with melody, there's not really a whole lot of theory involved in writing a good melody. It just kind of comes out of you, at least in my mind. So I actually could not think of any kind of good continuation for this. So it just kind of ended. Obviously, it can't just stay this very sad, sappy tone the entire time and have me be satisfied with the end result. Maybe it could be like that Mendelssohn string quartet where it starts off all nice and sad, but then it like throws into something a bit more angry and a bit more irritated. That might be interesting, but I just can't imagine this piece transitioning into that. This one's probably the biggest project that I abandoned, as you can tell by all the instruments. There is so much happening here. I spent so long trying to save this one, and I just could not do it. I think the harmony here is very cool. I just don't like it. I don't know. Maybe I could hand it off to someone else to finish it, but I just can't do it. I believe someone in my Discord server posted these 4 chords as kind of like nonsense chords, and they asked if someone can complete it, and this is my completion of it. And again, I don't think the harmony is bad. I think the harmony that I wrote is very interesting, but I just don't like the music. Maybe it needs a better melody or something. You hear that Genshin Impact as harmony. Okay, I have no idea what was happening in that last part there, but I got jump scared with a bit too much dissonance, didn't ya? Anyway, I think this harmony is very interesting. I am proud of that harmony, but especially that last part at the end, very adventurous. I just think that the subject itself is not, it's not ambitious enough. It's very samey. This middle part here I think is great. Maybe a bit too kitsch, but that's fine. And the beginning here is okay. Stuff like this, just like big orchestral chords, big, huge sound. Phil Spencer, I think, no, not Phil Spencer, Phil Spector, the guy that, the producer of Let It Be by the Beatles, you know, how he's like known for his quote unquote wall of sound technique where he just kind of throws instruments onto a wall, tapes them all together with the power of cassette tape, or I guess more modernly the Imagine Dragons kind of sound with a bunch of reverb, big huge kind of spacious concert hall church kind of sound. It's just like that. That's the kind of music that I was writing before. So that's a common theme that has been through all of these projects so far, is that it's just very nice sounding. It's very pretty. Put a little bow on top of it, hang it on the fridge, but nothing that really, you know, satisfied me creatively. Like it did satisfy me creatively for like the first few times that I wrote it, but I just kept doing that over and over until it just got very stale. And I know that's very kind of self-defeating sounding because it's not bad. I don't think anything I heard so far is like completely unsalvageable garbage. It doesn't inspire me to keep writing it. The most offensive thing that I think art can do is be boring. And I was very bored listening to all of that. Now, this last project here, I don't have any memory of me writing it, but I remember the context of me writing it. So I know that I wrote this. I didn't just nick this project from someone else. I was scrolling on itch.io, just randomly, boredly. I was scrolling through the game jam section, and I noticed that people host music jams on itch.io. You sign up, they give you a prompt, you write some music, you submit it, and then they judge them at the end, yada yada. You know how it goes. And I remember the theme for this one was probably like something like a starry night, you know, laying on the grass, looking at the stars, stargazing, that kind of thing. I wrote this out probably in like 3 hours, so I didn't spend a whole lot of time in it when it comes to writing music. That's not a lot of time, especially for orchestra. Again, I have no memory of writing this, but when I heard this, I was pleasantly surprised, like, wow, I heard this and I really wanted to continue it. So I'm very proud to play for you this project. Of course, it's very rough around the edges, but I hope you can hear that. That was very markedly different than everything that I've shown you before. I think that there is a lot of potential in this one, and I don't know why I abandoned it. I probably just forgot about the game jam, and I just forgot to keep continuing this one, but I really like this one. I want to continue it. I don't really know yet where I think it's going to go, but I think if I, you know, tidy this up a little bit, make the orchestration a bit more interesting, maybe make this part a bit more dramatic, it doesn't sound like, you know, kind of generic, romantic, kind of sloppy kind of music. This one sounds like there's a story it's trying to tell. That's what I love about it. It feels like there's a story happening here, something that's just waiting to be told. And that's why I'm excited to maybe try and complete this one. So those are my unfinished projects. I mean, maybe you like what you hear. Personally, for me, it's just not very fulfilling, but if you want me to go into one of these projects a bit deeper and talk about how I wrote it or whatever, so you can copy my style, I don't really care. That's fine. Those are my unfinished projects. I probably have more on a laptop somewhere, but they're probably like 3 measures of nothing John Cage style. Thank you for watching, and I hope you learned something. Usually I say that at the end of these videos, but I don't think there's anything to learn here. It's mostly just me kind of video diarying this, but thank you for watching. Please subscribe to my channel, and I will see y'all later. Bye bye!